everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, then welcome to you. Today I'm going to be doing the monthly readings for November and I'm going to be looking at the star sign of Virgo. If you're new to my channel, then on my monthly reads what I tend to do is premeditate on the cards, so that allows me then to get the different messages that I have come through, which then allows me to write my little bit of added poetry at the end of the read. So I am going to move that out the frame to start with Virgs. So yeah, without further ado then, I'm going to get straight into the reading and have a look what the message is for you, my lovely Virgos, as we go into November. Now the first card that came out for you was the card symbolising flow. But as I looked at the card, I was more drawn to the spider's web, because it was more or less saying to me, as you're going into November, there's elements in your life where you haven't got the flow correct at the moment, okay? And this card then was followed by these two cards of Magic Prayer and Into the Unknown. And what I was feeling, because I do try and do two sides of the coin with my readings, read for the collective and also read on a romantic level. And I'm going to start with the romantic side of things first, because I just felt I was picking up with a Virgo that feels caught up in a relationship and is struggling here of how to get out of this relationship, because I felt as though the person was struggling and it was a situation where they felt helpless, as though they didn't know which way to turn, having this card here with the female, and obviously it's not gender specific, you know, male or female, who I'm picking up here, who feels this, I felt this anxiety, this just the vulnerability really of they have seen somebody for their true colours, and having this card here, it was like praying. It's like praying to yourself, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this relationship? I feel like I'm struggling, and it was like you were caught up, okay? This is why with the spider's web here, I was more drawn to, and there's an actual person inside of this flower here. But to me, it was like somebody feeling trapped, you know, so feeling the walls were coming in on them, just feeling this dark entity around somebody at the moment within a relationship situation. Okay, because obviously I want to carry on with the relationship side of this reading first. So it's not going to resonate with everybody, obviously, but I do feel that there are some Virgs out there who have been in a relationship and it's got to a point now where you do feel trapped and a little bit scared, because you don't know how to deal with this person. They can just fly off the handle. It's a bit of a volatile relationship. I felt that there was some drug addictions within the person that you're related with, whether they actually mix with a bad crowd, so to speak. And at the start of the relationship, you know, you didn't sort of see this. You were sort of hoodwinked a little bit. That's why the person's got the blindfold over them. So you didn't really see the true essence of this person. But as you've gone along the journey in this relationship, then you are absolutely sort of thinking, oh my gosh, what have I got myself entangled with here? And this is what I was feeling when I was doing the meditation and the reading for some of my Virgos. So as we go into the next two cards, we've got the Lust card with the differences, and this is what I'm feeling here. Obviously the Lust card, okay, it was just all about control to me. I just felt it was like you feel like powerless, okay? You have to surrender. You feel controlled in this relationship, and it was more or less with the black and white on the differences card. it's like this person has got a dark side to them. Yeah, they can be lovely to you in one side. You know, one side of the coin, that can be lovely to you, treat you lovely. But then on the other side, there's a flip side, and they are dark, they are controlling, they are nasty, okay, to the point of where you feel so vulnerable. And I do feel that this was the message I felt coming into November, picking up with some of my Virgos out there on a relationship. It's trying to escape, okay, you're just caught up in this spider's web, and it's got to a stage, or it will be getting to a stage in November where, you know, you want to get out of this. You want to break free from this dark entity. You want to break free from this being controlled by this person. But you're just stumbling around in the dark thinking, how the hell am I going to get out of this? How the hell am I going to get out of this relationship, because this person is so controlling and they know so many people in their little collective group that you feel, you know, a little bit of an element of vulnerability, a little bit of an element of fear as well. Okay, so then the next two cards that came out, guys, was the Queen of Air and the Seven of Fire. And this was basically saying, I do feel that whoever is in this situation, in this predicament, will find a confidant to speak to, and it's an authority confidant. Now, whether this is somebody in, you know, a social services type of scenario, where you or a hostel type of scenario for people who suffer with domestic violence, in your local area, where you can just pick up the phone and get some guidance, because I do feel legality here, but legality in the sense of finding some information where you could actually get out of this situation, guys, because there is, with the Seven of Fire here, okay, with the elements around the unicorn, it's just saying there is people out there that can help you get you out of this situation. Because at the moment, you're out the saddle, you're unseated and unsure, okay, and you are in this dark place. You feel like you've hit rock bottom, okay, with the dark rocks here. And I do feel that some of my Virgs have even hidden the truth from their nearest and dearest. They don't want to admit that they are scared. I felt fear. And fear is a strong word, but this is how this relationship has got this person now. You feel completely trapped. You feel like you can't breathe. You feel like you're being controlled, okay? And it's time to surrender. It's time to take that step and be brave, okay, for you, having this magic prayer card here. And you need to rise above that. You need to... No one should stifle somebody's own personality. Nobody should control somebody in a relationship. So it's basically giving you the message, if this is resonating to anybody out there, to actually pick up the phone and get the help and give your story and say, I'm scared. I feel like I'm being controlled. I'm being watched. I'm being followed. But I am scared. I've got to a point where I need to get some help on this. And yeah, it is going to be a big, courageous step to even do that, in fear, if they find out, you know. But it's saying, for your own sanity, for your own peace of mind, for your own self-worth, you do need to get the correct assistance here, the correct knowledge, the correct help, and it is there for you, you know, to come out of this dark place, to come out of this feeling of rock bottom, okay, to raise you above and get you out of that situation. So then we had, I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. So amid the discomfort is enough to say you're in a situation here, guys, that is causing you discomfort, is making you feel, you know, alarmed and distressed. is stunting your personal growth as a person, being controlled in this relationship. And it's saying as well, you need to break the cycle, okay? Because once you break the cycle, then your personal growth and the person, the true essence of you can start a new phase. But you've got to go around, you've got to take the right steps to break from this. So it was a hard one, really, but this is what I was feeling when I was meditating on these cards. And as I said, it's not going to resonate with everybody, but I just felt on the relationship side that I was picking up with somebody who's mixed up with a character, like who's mixed up with, that they are then mixed up with, people who are, involved in untoward things, really, addictions, even criminal things that could happen in the people that their network. Because I felt like there's this, with having this spider's web here, okay, you're in like the centre of it. And at the time of when you started the relationship, yeah, you were attracted to the bad boy character. You knew some elements about this person or some elements about this female, okay? But as the relationship's gone on, more and more things have come to the surface. They have got issues, okay? They have got issues themselves and they need help. But the way they deal with it, is within their little framework, their little network of their associates, and they just blind themselves to it. But you don't want to be no more. You want to try and get out of this, okay? You want to break. It's like you started the process, guys, because if you see here, okay, you were caught up in this web of whatever in this relationship, and you have started the journey of escaping from it. You've released yourself, and it's a slow, it's a vulnerable, slow process, because you're just vulnerable and scared of the aftermath, really. But it's saying you need to, you've taken these first few steps, and it's to carry on with it and to get the proper help, to get the proper support, whether that is from the legality side, as in social services, or even the police, if it's domestic violence related, okay? Because even though you might not be getting physically hurt, it could be mental abuse, with the controlling. But, there is people out there who deal with this all the time, and it's just getting the courage to, speak out and make them aware, and then they can put things in place for them to lift you up from this dark place, this discomfort that you're in. So that's what I was getting, guys, on the romantic side of things. Okay, on the collective side, the message for the collective here on an unromantic side of events, it was basically saying, I felt the collective Virgos going into November were just caught up in life, really, caught up in issues of their direction. I feel that some of my Virgos have come to a crossroads in their life, as in, some of you may feel you want to embark on a work venture for yourself. You've got all these ideas going round in your head, guys. Got all these burning ideas going on in your head. But you're in the dark a little bit. As, okay, I've got this idea, or I've got this passion that I want to follow in a work choice, but not really knowing which way to go, really. Nothing is black and white to you at the moment. Going into November, you want it to be black and white. You just want to look at something and say, yeah, I'm going to definitely go for that. Okay, I can see black and white in front of me. Yeah, if I follow that's going to be, that's going to be fine for me. But at the minute, you've just sort of lost. You've lost all trace of thought. You're a bit mixed up. You're not really sure what path you should be taking, and you're just caught up in things. I just felt like you was caught up in things. And also on the collective, it can be that there's issues around you, whether that's if you're moving house or thinking of purchasing something. It's then turns around, the black and white then is to do with documents. it's to do with the legalities. If you're moving house, then things could have got caught up, things could be delayed, okay? And this is where then you are sort of feeling in a stalemate, because you're a bit blinded because you can't see what's going on behind the scenes. You're not really being given the full facts as to why something's being held up. It could also be for the collective to do with even a health issue. You know, you're waiting here to have the information come through, waiting, you know, you've been caught up in the health system, and you're waiting to have an operation, or you're waiting to be seen by somebody. But you know, it's the black and white is to do then with the paperwork side. You know, when is this going to be coming through? But I did feel I was picking up with some Virgos who'd got this idea, this passion, because the lust card here, when it's not to do with the romantic side, it's the passion, to get this passion back into your life. I feel some of my Virgs have lost their directive, they've lost their passion, but then they've got some ideas of what they do want to go into, but they're just a bit unsure, a bit blinded, as you know, okay, I've got this, I want to do this, but how do I do it? Okay, so this is what I'm feeling. So in order to get back on the saddle as such, you know, to find your passion, to find what you're after, it's seeking the knowledge, because the Queen of Air to me is the card of knowledge, okay? So in order for you guys to stop yourself feeling caught up on the wrong path, to stop yourself feeling like you're not in the energy flow, in your true essence, okay, as a person, then you've got to do your groundwork. Because yeah, there is opportunities that you want to manifest in your life, okay? But in doing so, you've got to get the knowledge, you've got to seek the information. And then, as I said, if it's on the collective where, you know, whether it's health and you're waiting to hear, thinking, gosh, you know, why has this all been caught up for so long? It's then to actually do some chasing, okay? Do some chasing around to find out why the delays, because it's no good just sitting there if you've been waiting quite a while, just expecting, you know, just waiting and waiting. You've got to actually pick up the phone and say, you know, I've been waiting now. Why is the delay? You know, ruffle a few feathers. That's what I want to say. Ruffle a few feathers. And again, it doesn't matter what scenario it comes across. I just felt on the collective here, I'd got some unhappy Virgs, basically, who are caught up in issues in life at the moment, feeling some discomfort around the issue as well. As I said, it could be just caught up in the legalities of paperwork for moving, for loans, that kind of type of scenario. But it's just saying, you've got to ruffle a few feathers, guys. You've got to ruffle a few feathers or seek the knowledge for those who are passionate and want to go ahead in doing something, you know, starting a new project, starting a new job. You know, it's like getting caught up in that system of the paperwork system, as I feel. It's like I could just see chasing paperwork for some of my Virgs in the month of November. But it is saying, you know, do your groundwork, do your chasing, and then you will sort of get the answers, I feel, by the end of November, to then sort of, you know, get your answers to then start on that new path, you know, if it's career-wise or the health. You know, if you've picked up the phone and chased whoever it is who's dealing with the appointments, or the consultants, or your doctor, or whoever, okay? It's just basically saying, ruffle a few feathers, the squeaky gate gets all the oil type of scenario, I want to say. So that was what I felt there. But the main collective for this reading, I did feel it was on the romantic side. That was the main key thing I had here overall with this person who's caught up in this volatile relationship. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull one of my ribbons. I've got my ribbons here. Actually, no, I won't do that yet. I want to do this pulling of this card. I normally use the affirmation cards by Terry Foss, but I've just recently purchased these, and I did do a video of a talk through because the artwork on these cards, guys, is stunning. And it was more, I did the video to highlight this artist, Louis Dyer, because his work, if you look at that video, I have put the links onto his site. It's just stunning artwork, really, that you can just get lost in. So I will pull one of these cards out for you now then, guys, to see what comes into the frame from these. But yeah, it was just a whole vibe, Virgs, of being caught up, literally caught up. Things were being held up, you know, and then it was caught up in your own emotions of this lusting of wanting to get your life back on track with ideas that you've got going around in your head and seeking the guidance for that, you know. So I'm just hoping that as a collective you can take some elements away from this reading today. So that's just jumped in my hand, Virg, so we'll have a look what that says. And we have Guardian, guard your energy. Now this, to me, this for the relationship side couldn't speak any more true. It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, or is it a sheep in wolf's clothing? One or the other. Basically, it's a sheep in wolf's clothing. No, oh, I don't know. It's one or the other anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? A wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah. Basically, they're not true. They're not being true to the essence, to yourself. So you went into this relationship, guys, having some idea about them, you know, because there was an element of the bad side that attracted you in the first place. But as the relationship's gone on, then you know, you have felt the true colours. This is what I'm feeling here. The true colours of this person are starting to emanate out to you, okay? They're not the person you thought they were, and as you've gone on to this, this relationship's gone on, you've realised that that's just too much for you. You don't feel comfortable. You feel like you're being controlled, okay? And it's saying guard your energy. It's a guardian card anyway, so it's just a message about guarding yourself. And that's why I feel, you know, that this card couldn't have been, you know, no more prominent than the message that I was trying to give you here. So you do need to take those steps. And then with the guard your energy, the guardian here, okay, for the collective then, I just feel it's about finding your true self, okay, and it's putting out a vibration as well, because if we see here, this wolf is sounding his own voice, okay? That's what I want to say. It's about sounding your own voice. So for those people waiting and have been waiting, you know, to hear about the health side of things, you've got a voice inside you. You've got to make that cry out now and say, well, you know, I've been waiting now. What's going on? So that's what I feel, the cry of the wolf, okay? The cry of the wolf, and it's to get your answers back. Because unless we speak out, okay, or unless we seek the knowledge or speak to others, because there's another wolf here in the background, so he's sort of communicating, okay? So this card is about communication. So where you feel you've been caught up, guys, on whatever issue it is, this card is symbolising you've got to communicate. And that's on the romantic side and on the collective side. You've got to get the communication here. So that's why that card's been pulled out, okay? So now then, I'm going to pull one of my ribbons out. I have done ribbon readings before on previous months, but I just love the element of these. There's just loads and loads of different ribbons in here, but I do pick up different things from the actual ribbons. So I'm just going to have a deep Virgs, and we'll have a look what comes out for you. So let's have a look what I'm picking out for you guys. Okay. So here we've got this lovely violet purple, okay? Now purple is always a spiritual colour anyway, but I was more interested in the borders, the containment. That's what I'm feeling, because there's a rough edge down this ribbon, okay, and it's about containment. So on the relationship side, this is what I'm feeling. You're feeling the rough edges now of this relationship. This is what I'm feeling as I draw my hands along this ribbon. It's the rough edges. You know, obviously you can't feel it, but it's just rough when I pull my fingers down the side of there. So to do with the relationship, it's about you're feeling the roughness now of this relationship, okay? It might have looked all nice and smooth when you first went into it here, but now, as it's gone further out, you are feeling the rough side, and that's what you need to address. With the collective people, okay, the ribbon here is saying, that because of the roughness here, this is just symbolising, this is why why things are getting caught up, okay? Because things aren't going smoothly, things aren't flowing. There's, it's like the edges of this ribbon more than anything, feeling, there's no flow to it, it's stopping the flow. And that's why the communication, again, is the message coming from this ribbon here. So it just symbolises this card, really. It's about communication. In order for this, for things to start moving again, you've got to get rid of the rough edges. You've got to just get things back on track, just got to voice your opinions, and then things will start to flow again. So that's what I felt from that ribbon there. And now what I'm going to do as well, because I love the charms, so we've got everything this month, guys. See, I'm pulling all stops out for you now. We've got all the little charms in here, so I'm just going to give these a little shake then, Virgs, and have a look at what we've got coming out for you in the charms. Okay, and we've got here, this is a little fairy that's holding the heart, it's like holding a heart in its hands. So for the person on the relationship side, it's basically, you need to wear your heart on your sleeve, guys, and you need to approach somebody where you can be honest, okay? You can be honest and let somebody know how volatile you're feeling, how trapped you're feeling, okay? Because that's what I'm picking up. That's why this charm's been pulled for you. With the collective, okay, it's saying here you need to get to the heart of the matter, because if things are being held up and things aren't moving, okay, then unless you pick up the phone or send an email or whatever to address to find answers, it's like getting the answers back, getting to the heart of the matter as why these things aren't moving. And then also on the collective, it's like some of my Virgs out there are realising what they want to put their heart and soul in. So that's why that heart's coming out there. You're actually holding the heart because you're embracing what you want to actually physically put your heart and soul in. And that's why that charm's come out for you guys. So guys, what I'm going to do now is just read my little bit of savant poetry to tie this reading up. So it says, a passion to change, a lust for life, to go and follow your dreams. A difference of opinions has your inner voice, it seems, arguing with the right and wrongs of releasing you from the dark. Time to start and follow the light, time to embark. Seek the truth from all that stops the flow, open up your eyes. Free yourself, forge forward, no time for compromise. So yeah guys, there's no time for compromise, especially if you're in this relationship where you're feeling like this, okay? And there's also no time for compromise when you are waiting on hearing or feeling caught up in things and waiting for the legality side of things. So it's about, as I said, this card here, it's about communication. You've got to get the communication out there, and that's what I'm feeling for my lovely Virgs for the month of November. So I hope you can take something from that, my lovelies, and I'll look forward to reading to you next time. Take care then, bye.